Hey y'all, how y'all doing? It's your girl Adrienne Fox in the building alongside my co-host Treble J. And
Yes,
this is
sir.
the classy, casual, cool edition of the People's Podcast. How
Yes,
y'all
sir.
feeling tonight?
I hope y'all feeling great. You know what I'm saying? Because we got a lot to get into. And we in 2024, we finna give y'all a very electric, you know what I'm saying, episode here, y'all. So I hope y'all ready for all your listening pleasures tonight. You know what I'm saying?
So this is my first podcast experience. And thank you, Treble J, for inviting me to co-host this show with you. But given that it's my first show and my first experience, I wanted to talk about like podcast culture, right?
Hmm.
So in your experience, lay it on me thick. What's podcast culture? What do I need to know? What are the do's and don'ts? Where we at with it? And where do we want to go? How do we want to be different?
Okay, cool. So podcast culture, you know what I'm saying? To first start off with pretty much like trending topics, news, everything in real time. So instead of, you know what I'm saying, before when we'll go to, TV 106 in part, certain stuff like that before, or you'll go to the news now, you know what I'm saying? This is more of a platform like in real time form of, the latest news, what's in, you know what I'm saying, the personality in itself, because for most people that do know, it's an audio experience. They just kind of now start opening up, you know what I'm saying, for it to be like a full fledged production now, you know what I'm saying, with video. But
Right.
that's the thing I felt like, as far as the culture, we kind of, you know what I'm saying, made that kind of popular because again, when it first kind of started, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of something to like listen to on the go while you're going. But now people have pretty much made into a whole, live performance, trending topic, what's in, what's not, you know what I'm saying? Background layouts, the whole nine. So it's almost like a live TV show almost sometimes.
Okay. Well, I see why you picked me.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you giving a great content, you know what I'm saying? The videos, the clips, and all that on IG. I know
Thank
a lot of y'all
you.
follow on IG as well too. So we bringing
Thank
that
you.
presence and that personality, you know what I'm saying, to the podcast. So
I'm not a big podcast listener, so to
mhm,
speak, but from what I have seen on it, mental health is one of the things that people are talking about.
mhm.
Everybody talks about relationships. Um, there's
That's a
like
big
wealth management advice going on. Like there's like a whole bunch of stuff. And I think what's really, really important to me as we embark on this journey is to provide information that's actually useful. Like, I don't
yes,
want to just sit here and talk at people and pretend I'm a therapist and pretend I have all the answers because I'm not. There are some things that I probably share from my experience that other people will learn from and be able to take tidbits from. But I just want to make sure that we're actually giving. That's right. Make sure to be actually giving some good, information to the people,
yeah, yeah.
especially based on what they wanna know.
I agree. I agree because that's part of the other question that you asked too as well. You know what I'm saying? To kind of stand out and do something different. I know we know a lot of people get on podcasts and it's the trending topics. A lot of people get on podcasts and kind of like the same storylines, you know what I'm saying, within each other, kind of piggyback.
Yeah.
A lot of them, you know what I'm saying, it's the battle of the sexes too and all that, you know what I'm saying, man versus women, like, the trendy stuff to a degree. So we kind of want to come at y'all, you know what I'm saying, from a different angle. Like Adrian said, what's going to actually be helpful for y'all, you know what I'm saying? Also a fun pod, also, you know what I'm saying, educational, also, you know what I'm saying, real true expression. I feel like authenticity, you know what I'm saying, as we talked about before, is important in the podcast space. Like we're not trying to come
Mhm.
on here to, you know what I'm saying, brush it up to make it, you know what I'm saying, look good for y'all. We giving y'all our true authentic self each and every week. You know what I'm saying? And as y'all can see, we're the best of all three, man. Classy, cool, casual, the people
Absolutely,
side is for
and
the people.
not against each other. I hate that narrative.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I hate the narrative of men bashing women or women bashing men. This experience with us is literally going to be about how we find resolve and how do we communicate, given that men and women are so different. what's the balance between emotional and logical? Like how do we address our feelings? How do we not suppress our men's feelings and give them opportunity to speak and be heard without, saying that they're emotional?
I love that topic right there. Definitely got to get into that for sure. I love
Yeah, absolutely. And we're gonna touch on all of that. Um, so you've been doing the podcast thing for a while. Do you
yeah.
have any fears about this journey? Is there anything that scares you about this particular podcast with me?
On this show, nah, I say I don't really have no fears. Um, I would say maybe like when I first started, because on the basis of like when you new to something, you feel what I'm saying? There's a lot of curveballs and you kind of like adjusting. I feel like at this point, it was definitely a conversation, you know what I'm saying? Definitely like an element I wanted to add on it because I've done multiple shows and different ones, but never with a female co-host. And on top of that, you know what I'm saying, like kind of open up to be more vulnerable, to be more expressive and like come from a different element, you know what I'm saying? Like me having a conversation with a woman more so than, other ones. So I wouldn't say no reserves. I was actually excited about doing this because I feel like I'd be
Yeah.
more open, you know what I'm saying, than I already am, because we've had plenty of conversations, but more open than I already am in other elements. Because you know what I'm saying, when you're with your homeboys or whatever, we doing the sports show and all that. It's it's surface level, but I feel like we can really deep dive. You know what I'm saying, on this show
Oh
specifically.
yeah.
I'm
And
excited about
offline, guys. What's the
yeah,
one that you need the subscription to?
the one
The
I need.
podcast thing? When we talking and we get real deep and you throw out.
Oh, the Patreon. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The
Yeah, yeah,
Patreon.
yeah. We be having Patreon conversations.
Yes. Yes. I'm talking about real open, you know what I'm saying, dynamic conversations, y'all. You feel what I'm saying? I felt like that conversation probably should have been on Patreon, or you know what I'm saying, it was worthy of that. But I felt like you know how y'all be when you kinda when you get comfortable, you get real open and you know what I'm saying, everything start coming out. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of that conversation, some stuff I ain't really told people before, man. I was just free flowing and
Yeah, I'm
hey,
good at making
I
people expose themselves.
shit, that was a lot of exposure for sure.
We'll get into that on another episode. It's crazy
Yes.
because like growing up, I always been a girl that like I was around the popular girls, but I wasn't never like a popular girl.
Mm,
And
okay.
I've had a lot of shade in my life. I don't know if it's because I grew up in the hood and I was this little light skinned girl with this white mama, but I've had a lot of shade. So I think my biggest fear is doing a podcast and like don't nobody listen.
But see,
Girl,
that
what
be
are
that
you talking
be
about? Like,
perception, though. That be perception. Like that's I'm glad you said that because I think that's the one thing that hinder a lot of people from being in this space. But
mhm.
that's the element that actually help people and hold people back. Because the
Yeah.
thing is, in the podcast space, it's the same as music. It's the same as movies. Like, you know what I'm saying? It gotta be versatile. It gotta be a melting pot full of different stuff because the same way you got millions of people that listen to music, a lot of people that listen to podcasts want to listen to different things. They may listen to
Yeah.
more than one per day, or it may be a certain group of people that's specific on a certain topic, a certain genre, a certain style of podcast, maybe somebody voice, they cadence and all that. So like it's always gonna be a melting pot of, you know what I'm saying, different podcasts. And I feel like especially like, like I was saying in the urban space for us, it's something new. Like for you know what I'm saying, the culture for us anyway, being in this whole space of being able to express. Cause I feel like in our culture, we have a lot of like conversations, like with your homegirls or like, my homeboys or whatever, like that don't really make it on the space to where a lot of people hear. Cause I feel like a lot of them conversations we have do hold a lot of meaning. They be kind of impactful, but they don't never make it. Like it's only surface level. Like only people in your circle pretty much know about that
Right.
conversation. So I felt like for the type of conversations we had, even your content, you know what I'm saying? Because for those of y'all that do follow, you know what I'm saying, Adrienne Fox too, like she got a lot of, insightful takes on a lot of stuff, y'all. So I need y'all to make sure y'all follow her on IG, man. And I feel like it's perfect to bring those conversations and you know what I'm saying, those elements too, like over to the podcast space because then you got people that's not in close vicinity or you know what I'm saying, a lot more people that you can reach in this space too, like off a conversation. Cause everybody
Yeah.
love a good conversation, whether they in it or whether they listening to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's what makes me most excited. It's like, I've been on social media for a little while, and you'd be surprised, like, there might not be as many people commenting or liking as they are watching. And most recently, I probably had the most like one-off conversations with people who just been like, "You have inspired me so much to lose weight." Or like I'll get a message from somebody and they'll be like, "Where's the daily fit?" Or "Where's the morning TED talk?" Like,
Get ready.
"Where you at?" Like, yeah, they like, "Hold on." Like when I log on in the morning, I'm expecting to scroll through my story and see something from you. Like, where you at? Like you've been missing a couple days. I'm like, "Well, work been I've been in a chokehold because
That grind.
like
Right.
grinding and stuff." So, I am excited about that. I'm excited about, even if we change one person's life or help one person navigate co-parenting or help one person start a business or hope, provide hope to people. Like that's really the only thing that matters to me.
Yeah, and I feel like in this space, that's not really a hard thing to do. I feel like when it come to podcasting, though, the most important thing that I feel like people got to know that you got to be authentic. It's not really a
Mhm.
space for people to come on here to kind of say what you want, what you think you want people to hear, or to, you know what I'm saying, like play a character almost. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're watching a movie, like this is a space pretty much for. It's almost like a journal. You know what I'm saying? Like let's say in that aspect, but it's an open journal pretty much for people to listen to, like what you kind of writing down and jotting down. So I feel like being your true self in this space is the best thing that you can do when it comes to podcasting. Because, like you said, I was doing it for a while too, but I was a person who was like real reserved at first before I started doing this, which is why I feel like I can help you, you know what I'm saying, be comfortable in this space because a lot of people that do know me, I do know a lot of people know me, but I was very like laid back, reserved. A lot of my private life to a degree is not expressed, you know what I'm saying, like that until I started getting
Oh, I
podcasts.
know. So, for people who don't know this, this was not a random
Not at all.
juncture. Well,
Not
this
at all.
is this is not our first passing at each other in life.
Yeah.
So, we went to this boarding school in Tallulah Falls, Georgia. If any of you know where Tallulah Falls is,
The Black Harry
if you
Potter.
the Black Harry Potter school. Yes, no, seriously, this was like the real like black
The Black Hogwarts. That's
Hogwarts.
what it was, Hogwarts. Yeah, 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 definitely. Hey, for real.
Um, and they were on a spree of recruiting talent for their athletic department.
Yeah, yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, who are on the East Coast, I know specifically in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, and Philadelphia, New Jersey, Delaware area, there's a program called A Better Chance. So if you have
Mhm.
any children that are approaching middle school or high school age, and you want them to go to private school or charter school or special creative schools, and you cannot afford them, A Better Chance is a program, and I think it's a betterchance.org, is a program where you can take testing similar to the SAT, something like that. You prepare, you take testing, you go to a couple meetings, and then they sponsor you and help you with the application process. They waive the application fees for you to apply to all of these schools and then help you get scholarships to go there.
But
So
it do cost money.
it
Definitely.
costs money.
That school it was expensive.
Yeah, that school was super expensive. I think
Yes,
it was like college tuition almost.
that's what I'm saying. We probably needed magic. We probably needed Harry Potter magic to put to pay some of them,
Well,
loans
that's what
real fast.
happened, and it's not magic, and this is the
Yeah,
beautiful thing about this podcast, y'all. It's not magic. We want these opportunities in life, and these opportunities are there for our children, and we just have to know about them. So that's the first jewel that we're dropping on y'all. If you don't know about it, A Better Chance is a program where you can find higher education in different and special schools for your kids to get them out of the super urban areas where you feel like their
that's fast.
environment is suffocating them, or they're lacking in opportunities to be seen for the secondary college, for the college level and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Um, so we met. I was on a basketball scholarship
yeah.
and he was on a basketball scholarship, and we met our freshman year of high school at Tallulah Falls High. Shout out to everybody who graduated and everybody who was a part of that class. We're all friends on
Yeah, that was
Facebook, and
that
I
that was the
cannot
most
wait.
yeah, that was the best class for sure, like, guaranteed. Y'all know
Yeah.
who y'all are, everybody out there, you know what I'm
What's
saying,
up,
from
y'all?
Twin Falls days, for sure, y'all are. And, like, I gotta say too, like, you're right, with the whole, you know what I'm saying, a better chance thing. I feel like it was an opportunity that a lot of us wasn't used to. That's why I kinda made it a cool experience. Cause I was joking with you about that, you know what I'm saying? I remember before when I was, like, I first got there and I was like, I seen Harry Potter before, but I ain't never think it was an actual school like this. And a lot of the black kids that did go there, we went there too. It was like that was a culture shock, especially coming from a urban area. And when you have like we never knew about that. First of all, staying at a school, spending the night, all type of other little stuff we was doing, like
Like,
it
it
was
was straight up
that was
boarding school. And when
yeah.
you growing up, like, people think boarding school is this, "Oh, your parents sent you away, you must have been bad or you must have been fresh."
Nah,
Like, no.
nah,
Like,
nah,
I
nah.
was playing tennis for gym, okay? It was giving High School Musical times 100.
Hey,
Like,
that's funny. You was though. You right
it
about that. We
was
was doing some real
super
sports out
lit.
there. Yeah, we was doing some.
I would go into the gym and I had a shooting machine.
Yeah.
Like, I was not running after the ball, practicing for free. I would turn the machine on and shoot my shot for hours. Like, it was a legit school. I loved it. I loved it so much.
We was advanced early, y'all. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the stuff, like when you growing up from the areas that we be coming from, you know what I'm saying? You don't get to experience that. So like she was right. We had the real gym experience. I'm talking about all the equipment, all the sports, tennis, uh, swimming, all type of
Swimming.
yeah,
Yep.
everything was in there. Like the
We
the
had a
real
pool.
yeah, yeah. The gym, two gyms, matter of fact.
Mhm.
The fire pit,
Mm.
like they had us out there in the woods, you know what I'm saying? All that too.
The
Like it
student
was
center.
oh yeah,
We
elite.
had a
That's
movie theater, pool
yeah,
tables.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was
Like a
like, what is it, like a snack station.
it was more than that. I think we
It
had
was
the
like a
snack
little, you
we had
could
the
buy
little
like hot dogs and popcorn
like
and like, yeah, it was legit. Like, legit, legit.
hamburgers and all that, like a full meal and go up in there. Like that was like you know what I'm saying, the hangout spot pretty much. Like I felt like that's where a lot of people came together too, because when we was first brand new in there, everybody still kind of had their little group they was with, like trying to get adjusted because it was new to everybody. But I felt like
Mhm.
the student center, you know what I'm saying, like the activities and all that really like made everybody come together, you know what I'm saying, like, catch
And it's
interest.
crazy because our communities rely on YMCAs and stuff like that to provide um those safe spaces where we can, just congregate and be with each other and learn and explore and do music, or
Mhm.
just be creative and relax and chill, or practice our sports or specialties. Um and it's hard to find those spaces in our communities now where we feel safe to do that. So,
Yeah, that's the one thing I agree with you on that too, is that it was a different environment. So it ain't like we had that space in the urban community. It was like we had that safe space. Like it was way out in the woods, but I mean, I ain't gonna lie, for the most part, it was pretty safe, like where we was at, and it was away from all the trouble and other stuff. So I mean, all we had time to do, you know what I'm saying, was enjoy that, and obviously, you know what I'm saying, learn to like,
and
and yeah,
enjoy being kids.
yeah,
Like,
pretty,
enjoy being like teenagers and not worried about like the outside world. And just to give you like some background, like, I was born and raised in West Philly. Um so
born
the
and raised
Better Chance program was there, and you were born and raised in Georgia.
Georgia, yeah. Atlanta to be
So,
exact, you know what I'm saying?
Atlanta,
I know
Atlanta,
I'ma rather be saying, you know what I'm saying, if y'all really from there, you know what I'm saying? I was really born in the city, inside
and Atlanta, not
Atlanta.
Clayco, not what's the other one?
Not on the outskirts, not they say Gwinnett too as well, not Alpharetta, not Lawrenceville, not, inside the city actually. Yeah, you're right. Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's why I
Yeah.
said, you know what I'm saying, I enjoy, stepping into a new element. The same way you talking about the podcast. Like I felt like we stepped into a new element with TFS, and you know what I'm saying, you stepping into a new element also in the new year too as well, you know what I'm saying? Happy New Year's to everybody too, y'all. This is the first
Yeah, happy New Year.
episode of the show in 2024, you know what I'm saying? But I see the potential. That's what they saw in you, you know what I'm saying, in TFS. So I see the potential in you, you know what I'm saying, coming into this new space in the podcast arena.
I love it. I love it. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what this bears. And it's so crazy because my girlfriend, she always tells me that I have like, she'll listen to my stories on Instagram. And she's like, oh my God, you have like a radio voice. You have like a radio personality. And you had reached out to me about this podcast. And then
Yep,
I'm like, oh, I gotta get a microphone. Like, I gotta get equipment. That's gonna cost money. Fine, okay, I guess I'll spend it. And then my girlfriend ended up getting me this amazing microphone. So shout out to her. I love you so much. Like, it's crazy when people see stuff in you and it's on your road, and you have to, you gotta just go. You gotta go with it. And that goes for anybody. If anybody feels like, they're stuck or they're on a path, like the doors are going to open for you. You stay faithful, you stay consistent, you stay grinding, you stay dedicated to yourself, you stay humble, you stay working hard. Wherever you're supposed to go, it's going to be so easy to get there. It's going to be
yeah.
it's going to be like it happened overnight. So, and don't think that because you've been working at it for some time and like nothing ever happened that it's not gonna come, you know?
That's
Like,
true. I gotta piggyback off of that real quick because I feel like that's important for the space that I was in when I first started doing it. And I think you hit it right on the nail right there. Is to be consistent, and also without just being consistent, you can't give up because you know what I'm saying, the perception, which I know a lot of y'all pay attention to, especially for this new generation, that stuff come overnight. It don't take hard work. You feel what I'm saying? You just kind of throw something on the canvas and it's a finished product. That's not what it is, y'all. Like I've literally been in the podcast space of just trying to build stuff up for like a couple of years now. Literally, if a lot of y'all was listening to me from the beginning when I was sitting in the corner in the room, no type of aesthetic, no nothing, a cheap microphone, you feel what I'm saying, trying to pull it off on the phone and all that, when a lot of people wasn't really paying attention because at the time, podcasting was a thing, but it wasn't trendy like it is now, and, like, that's the whole concept of, like, Adrian saying that you gotta stay down and stay consistent because now it's in a space to where a lot of people trending, and I've already been somebody pretty much, you know what I'm saying, pioneering in that space to kinda know how to navigate through it, and I feel like that's vitally important with anything that y'all doing out there, you know what I'm saying? Just in the future or right now, you know what I'm saying, whatever the case may be, consistency and don't give up. You like the key part when it comes to success that a lot of people to tell y'all, a lot of people that y'all look up to, a lot of them tell you they just didn't quit. As long as you don't quit and you just stay the course on it, your time gonna come. Everybody got their time, and you just it ain't no reason for you to give up on anything you're trying to pursue. Keep doing it, and
yeah.
everything else will fall in line.
And the energy you put out there for yourself matters too, Like, it starts with your thoughts. And I was just talking to actually my son's father the other day about this, because he's on a journey as well, and most of us are, right? When you
Mhm.
look at where, as a culture, we are, it's about mental awareness and sometimes spiritual awareness, just like how do I change my life? How do I change my surroundings? How do I be successful? And it's just like a whole bunch of people out here talking about what that process looks like. And for me personally, like, I lost 70 pounds in like the past 2 years.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
And that was not easy. And I use this as an example for you guys and to back up exactly what it is that he's saying. You have to pay attention to what you're putting in your mind. That means what you're listening to. Okay. You have to pay attention to how you feel. How you feel stems from your thoughts, right? Your thoughts and what you listen to are influenced by your surroundings, the people that you're around, the things that you're doing. So if in your mind you want to be in a room with people who make millions and millions of dollars,
Mhm.
and I've heard Jay-Z say this, you think you're going to get there being in a room with people who don't make no money?
Nah.
Okay. and stepping outside of that comfort zone that we all know, our friends or, whatever it is, stepping outside that comfort zone is challenging. And, you know, you will probably lose people in the process as you shed the skin of those bad habits, right? Because when you have those thoughts and you have that environment, all of that stuff creates bad habits. You don't get to be overweight by doing all the right things. Okay? You're eating, you're drinking, you were probably depressed. Some of it was mental. So, you probably, if you're that type of person, you're probably cluttered. Your environment is cluttered. Like these are all side effects of things that start inside of your mind.
mm,
And when you clear that space out, to start to receive and focus on the things and the direction that you want to go in, be very aware that you may lose people. Like I had a girlfriend and, our thing was restaurants. You know what I mean? COVID. And we'll have a drink while we're at dinner. And, she was skinny and beautiful. I mean, we were both beautiful, but she could afford it. Like you can't have a couple drinks and then be in the right mindset to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and work out. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
it just you got to think about it like the habits. It's all connected, right? Because then you have to start to physically express. You got to put the work in. But if your mind ain't where it's supposed to be, if you don't have the right thoughts, how are you going to position yourself in your life to start doing the work, which then starts to attract everything that it is that you're working for? So you have to be extremely mindful of what that environment is and don't be scared to change it if that's the case because you're not going to change your life and you're not going to get where you want to go if you don't change those habits.
Yeah,
So,
'cause I feel like elevation come with change, and, like,
mhm.
success, like, the next step come with change. That's why I was even explaining before, you know what I'm saying, you gotta get out of your comfort zone to be able to succeed in stuff that you feel like you interested in or to the degree that you feel like you could be impactful in, you know what I'm saying, quote, unquote, "in the podcast space," because, again, like I said, this is a very, like, unfamiliar territory for me because for the most part, before I got comfortable in this space, I was to myself, like, a lot to the point that there was a fear in the beginning. So when you asked me what the fear was before, it was starting the podcast initially before, but again, in order for me to elevate, I had to begin to open up. In order for me to elevate, I had to be more vulnerable, I had to be more open, I had to be authentically myself, you know what I'm saying, to get that expression, and
Yeah.
I feel like over time it's become natural. Another thing too, I want to add on to that, like why you saying that too, is that what a lot of people lose sight of, you got to have fun with what you're doing. If you feel like
Mhm.
it's something you want to do, it should be fun, not work. And from the same perspective, you feel what I'm saying, it's something that you feel like you can you can do, you know what I'm saying, carefree, or you could just enjoy doing it. Like I feel like the podcast space definitely worked for me, and I feel like to invite you, you know what I'm saying, onto this show too, because we organically, you know what I'm saying, express ourselves, you know, freely and authentically, I feel like on a daily basis and, you know what I'm saying, to on different platforms in general. And I feel like when you do it to a degree and it's uplifting or it's like you know what I'm saying, a burden off your shoulder sometimes to be able to freely express, I feel like that's
Mhm.
important to do that because a lot of people, a lot of folks to a degree, it's more about the trend factor or the wow factor of it. Like, I get it, you feel what I'm saying? Everybody podcasting is cool, you know what I'm saying? You got a certain look. A lot of people listen to you, whatever the case may be. But if y'all not enjoying it and you know what I'm saying, it's not organically you in this space, a lot of people is gonna fall to the
Not
wayside.
only that, but you need to be impactful. I'm
Exactly.
sorry.
Just talking about anything,
Yeah,
that
you
shit is
gotta be saying something. You can't just come on here saying anything thinking you gonna have people listening to you for 45 minutes. I barely got the bandwidth. I don't know if I'll ever listen to any of my episodes from the beginning to end. It's gonna have to be some real juicy shit for me to want to listen to the whole thing from beginning to end again, especially because I didn't sit here and said all the words, so I know exactly what
Oh
I
yeah, for
said.
sure. That's how I be. That's how I be telling folks. Yeah, and I be doing like a couple of shows throughout the week. So I'm like, yeah, every time I'm not sitting back, listening back. That's why I said be authentically yourself. So in the moment, while you potting and while you having them conversations, I'm gonna get out everything I want to get out authentically. Then, and you know what I'm saying, and the other process, everything after that. Like a lot of us don't do that. So I need y'all to understand that too as well. I mean, you got editors and other stuff too. A lot of us is authentically like in the moment of podcasting. That's what it is, a conversation. Like, you don't really got time to edit it. You ain't got time to scale back. We live in the moment, and you feel what I'm saying? We getting out. Like I
Mhm.
feel like what's impactful. That's why I said, you know what I'm saying, it's good for Adrian to be in his space because you gotta be saying, you know what I'm saying, the right stuff, not just saying something. It's a lot of people. We already got IG and all these other platforms for that, for people to just get on here and say any and everything to try to get attention. Not in this space over here. You feel what I'm saying? The right fit is the right fit. And I feel like, you know what I'm saying, she got a lot of impactful stuff to say to, both demographics, the men and the women. So, you know what I'm saying? That's always a powerful thing when we can be, equally yoked instead of, what I'm saying, going at each other's head. Like I said, the battle
Oh
of the sexes.
yeah.
Like, that's not what this show is about, y'all. So, you know what I'm saying? That's the
Yeah,
most
for
important thing
sure.
I want y'all to take from this. Yeah.
I can't wait to see the episode when I cry. I'm sure it's gonna be one of these episodes I'm gonna be on here bawling my eyes out. Oh my god. Because it's everybody has a story, and I think that's where you really connect with people because nobody's life is perfect.
That's true.
And, I don't care how pretty anything looks on the outside. Like, and I think that's what makes what I do on my social media um, so powerful because, like, I'm not scared to show my stretch marks or my extra skin or
That's
my
true.
cellulite. You know what I mean? I'm not out here flaunting like I got the perfect body. I've never had a Photoshop app in my life. Like,
Yeah,
I've
you wild.
never tried to like digitally fix
You
my
wild for that.
nose or I'm saying it's girls out here that
Nah, I
touch
know
up
you're
their
right. That's why I
photos
said
before they post them.
that's facts. That's facts. Though I said them
And
filters
if
be
if I don't say nothing else, women, the way God made you, you are absolutely beautiful. And I
100%.
know it sounds like that I'm getting ready to say something so serious, but it's a lot of ugly girls with babies. They gonna have sex with you, girl. You don't have to worry about that. You're gonna have a partner. You're gonna get married. Like I see so many girls that have families and they're not tens. Okay, you don't have to be this perfect patty, all made up person to have a partner. You have to be yourself whatever that looks like the person that man wakes up to in the morning before you beat your face, before
Oh
you
hell
take your
yeah. Like
bonnet off.
we
That's
love
that's the woman that your man is falling in love with.
yeah, we love that
So
for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
and tell them because listen, you couldn't tell me if I had to guess Treble's body type, like or what he was attracted to. We had a conversation about this Patreon. It was deep. It was deep.
Indeed.
But if I had to guess what his body type would be, it would not be the examples that he showed me or he told me about.
Well,
Not
you can
even close.
get them that
Not
get
even
them.
close. And I'm a share something personal, right?
Okay,
I
okay,
was
okay.
nice and tight. I mean, ooh, I was that thing before I had my baby. Okay? I was that thing. My baby daddy knew what he was doing. All right. He trapped me. Like, no. But after I had my baby, I had gained some weight. And I was so in my head about it. And women, we'll talk about it, postpartum, talk about it, not feeling pretty. You know what I mean? To the point where we obsessing about it. I cried when I got my first stretch mark. I cried when I couldn't tie my shoes because my stomach was so big. Pregnancy was not this beautiful, elaborate thing. I cried when I didn't know what I didn't, when I didn't know what I wanted to eat. It wasn't like this. super beautiful moment. And then afterwards, I felt even worse. I'm like, oh my God, I'm feeding a baby from my boob. Like, like I just felt so ugly and terrible. And I didn't realize that I was turning my baby father off.
Mm.
I didn't realize that it was pushing him away, because who wants to be with a woman who's beating herself up like literally every day? Like every day, I would probably say something terrible about myself, and it wasn't anything wrong with me. I just had a couple pounds on me. So dig this. He's in the military, and he went away on a deployment, and here I go snooping through his iPad. He came home for a visit, right? I go in the browser. Ladies, don't go through your man stuff.
Oh, shit.
Cause this is what you gonna find.
Oh, man. Yeah.
This man, oh my God, he probably gonna hate me for this. He was watching BBW porn. Thick girls.
Just like
The
that.
thing that I was scared to be, that's what he was watching. And I'm like, what? Like, are you
You know
kidding
what?
me?
We had this conversation, though, you know what I'm saying? We had this conversation. Y'all got the wrong perception out here.
Thank you. Say it.
That
Say it
y'all
for
got
the
y'all
ladies in the back of the
I'm about to
room.
tell y'all, you know what I'm saying? For all the ladies, for real, I'm about to tell y'all straight up, you know what I'm saying? We like the
Talk about it.
natural we like the natural body type, man. The funny part was, you know what I'm saying, when I was having the conversation with Adrian, you know what I'm saying, off camera, and just like suggesting a few, you know what I'm saying, people I felt like I was interested in to a degree. You got your people on social media, influence and all that. And it was surprising, you know what I'm saying, even in that point too, the people I was pointing out because but then I had to tell her, you feel what I'm saying? To me, it's all about the natural part of it. Obviously, I'm from down south and all that too. You don't gotta be petite, you ain't got to have a BBL and all that. The natural, thick, you know what I'm saying, voluptuous, whatever you want
That
to call
come with the gut.
it, that
That
come with
come with
oh yeah,
cellulite.
ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Straight facts out here, man. You know what I'm saying? If for all y'all dudes, you know what I mean, that be listening to, I know y'all can back me on this because I feel like the body type to a degree that a lot of y'all be saying with these BBS is cool to look at, but y'all know for a fact. I'm talking about the real man out here, the natural body, the natural look, you know what I'm saying? All that. They 100% comfortable with it because, again, to your point, a lot of the ones that be happy out here, y'all wonder why a lot of them had kids or, you know what I'm saying, they're in relationships, the ones that body ain't right and tight and all that, because, hey, we like what we like. And it ain't what
Mhm.
they portraying that we liking on social media. You feel what I'm saying? It ain't that, y'all.
And so I think oftentimes too, and females don't strike me down for this. I'm gonna say a lot of controversial stuff that y'all are
Yeah,
probably
say what you got to
not
say.
going to like. I don't know no man that like the caterpillar eyelashes. Okay.
Hell no, nah.
I don't. You know what I mean? And I think, we see trends, we see things that are in. Talk about it. My MacBook know when I'm on to something. That's crazy.
Yes.
You see trends and you see stuff and like, yes, it's nice to be dolled up and it's nice to wear the makeup and it's nice to, do all of those things. But at the same time, we get in competition with each other. And when I say competition with each other, I don't mean that we literally are like fighting each other, but the goal marker and what we think is beautiful is not that needle is not being pushed forward by men. Okay. The standard of beauty is not being controlled by the men that we are seeking to be partners. It's controlled by an industry. Okay. It's controlled by an algorithm on social media. It's controlled by stuff that is popular. It's not controlled by what a man actually desires. So let's try not to wrap ourselves up with what we think is beautiful and do more research and talking to men like how to we're gonna have this platform right here and understanding exactly what a man likes. You know what I mean? Like it's a bunch of women out here talking, oh, he want this and he want this, and I want this and I want this and that. How about you ask?
Yeah, cause y'all would be surprised, man. I feel
You'd
like
be surprised.
I feel like y'all be having the wrong perception about certain people to an extent. Cause I feel like myself to a degree, like if when I come across certain conversations, it's like most women to a degree. feel like, you know what I'm saying, you only attracted to a certain type of woman, you only like a certain type of personality. Like I can't, you know what I'm saying, step outside the box to a degree. It's like a perception on certain people. Again, you know what I'm saying? Natural to me is the whole thing. It ain't meant to be cliche. Y'all already know the phrase, you know what I'm saying? That Drake say, sweatpants, hair tie, chiller with no makeup on. You feel what I'm saying? Like
That's when you're the prettiest. I hope that you don't take it
exactly.
wrong.
I'm one I'm one of them folks, hands down, y'all. Ain't no, you know what I'm saying, sugar cone, whatever the case may be. Cool. I appreciate, you know what I'm saying, a woman dressing up, doing all that cool stuff too. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, the aspect that I'm gonna see that everybody else ain't gonna see to a degree, like Adrian said, that's the part that I'm gonna start to get attached to. You feel what I'm saying? Everything else
Mhm.
is for show to a degree. So again, what y'all gotta remember too, and this you know what I'm saying, from the male aspect, telling y'all women out there too as well, before you looking for validation on the internet, you know what I'm saying, on all these social platforms, y'all got to have a lot more, you know what I'm saying, compassion and love for yourself. So that way, when you got your tribe or, you know what I'm saying, you got your significant other or you got your, you know what I'm saying, inner circle that love you for you, your body type, your hairstyle, the clothes you wear, how you carry yourself, what you have or what you don't have, all of that, you'll understand the importance of that. Because I feel like even though I'm not a woman, I pay attention to a lot of stuff on social media. And it's a constant climb of y'all trying to compete against each other as women, but then also against the internet about how I should look. I can't post this because you know what I'm saying, how people gonna view me. Or y'all, there's another thing I want to say too, because you know what I'm saying, we keeps it real on this show. I'm gonna keep it all authentic with y'all, man. Certain pictures y'all post, it's cool to look at. I'm not gonna lie, you know what I'm saying? I'm a human being. So of course, you know what I'm saying, lingerie, the swimsuit, all that type of shit is cool to look at. But to a degree, y'all gotta understand that a lot of men out here, you know what I'm saying, still looking for some form of substance or a woman that ain't really that accessible. It's a
Mm,
difference between having a good time with y'all and settling down with y'all. You feel what I'm
mm,
saying? I feel like a lot of y'all losing sight of that on social media, that if you looked upon, you feel what I'm saying, with some of these, sketchy little pics and stuff y'all be putting up, y'all feel like that's the validation that y'all need, you feel what I'm saying? And that's what be muddy in the water out here when y'all not understanding that as men naturally, of course we gonna love to look at, but them ain't the ones that, you know what I'm saying, that we get in a relationship with, settling down with, marrying, none of that. So if y'all really feel like you want to bring something to the table and y'all really trying to, build on relationships, because like I said, we trying to help y'all on here, understand the difference between lust and love, because a lot of y'all, especially in this generation, don't know nothing about the difference between them two.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a big difference, and don't get it twisted. Like you want to be attracted to your partner.
Of course,
Like
yeah.
don't nobody want, but it's just basically what we saying is, you know, what somebody is attracted to isn't always what you think. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. That's exactly that's what I'm really,
you know,
really. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
it's not always what you see on the internet, and your life isn't going to be like what you see on the internet. Um, keep it classy, keep it casual, keep it cool, be yourself.
uh,
No, for real. I think that there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, and we can add corny on there too, because I'm a cornball.
yeah,
Okay,
right. Yeah,
cornball. Like, and it's okay to be corny too. Like, you don't have to have the designer. You don't have to have like stop
no,
being. You're in a race to go nowhere. Like you're really in a race to go nowhere when you start to focus on what you think success look like and
yeah,
not fulfilling what it is inside of you or who you are or taking the things that you even want to do with your life and accomplishing those things one by one, coming up with a plan and accomplishing those things one by one. That's what success is. It's not a Birkin. It's not. I think a Birkin is the stupidest thing in the world. Like, why would you walk around with a house on your arm if
exactly, man.
you know what I mean? Like if you don't have it, like you like that's just they're tokens, right? And I think social media and the internet puts these tokens out here to distract us. Um, because
You
if you
you
think
want
about it, because when you think about it, when black people get together and we're all focused on something, there's absolutely nothing we can't accomplish. We've been a threat in America for a very, very long time. And a reason why, and this might be a little heavy, but a reason why we've been systemically targeted and separated, our family separated and broken apart, because whenever we do get together and we on the same page and we doing something positive, it's something great. And our culture get ripped off the most. You talking about
Oh,
appropriation and all of that stuff to make money. Come on, like we're way bigger than these distractions. Way bigger than what we were showing or trying to prove to each other. Like what are you buying this stuff for? To prove to the next person that you got money?
yes,
Make
sir.
that make sense.
To be
Like
proved.
what exactly is the point of the designer? Now, I love my stuff. I have a few things, not an obsess. I have a few things that I admire in terms of quality because it's gonna last for forever, right? You get you a nice pair of boots. I'm gonna have them boots for forever. Instead of buying a cheap pair of boots and you buy a cheap pair of boots every year, I mean, make it make sense, right? I'm not
Yeah,
saying you can't enjoy the money that you work very hard for. That's not what I'm saying. But just be smart about it. Don't splurge and spend all your money and not accomplish other things in life because you focused on showing somebody else you got something. That don't make no sense.
and I think it's heavy like that. That's why I said you gotta. That's why I said I feel like certain platforms, to a degree, like it'll set us back more than it's helping us. And I feel
Yeah.
like it's important that you're saying that too, because one thing I will say, and I'm gonna say this from personal experience, because I realize the true value of this. A lot of people want to be cool and want to fit in on the basis of somebody telling them what's cool, what's trendy, you know what I'm saying, what's acceptable. The difference
Mhm.
that I felt like I had to understand, which is why even in my space that I felt like things started to grow with me doing this podcasting thing and all that, is that I feel like I create what I feel like is cool to me and put, you know what I'm saying, certain energy out there to a degree that it allow a lot of people to latch on to that, because it's easy to follow a trend. It's easy to do the same shit everybody else doing. It's easy to have the same look, same style, same everything. But I've said that from the beginning. You can't follow what's cool. You got to create the cool. So a lot of people that want to be popular, a lot of y'all that want to be, you know what I'm saying, overly attractive, a lot of y'all that want to get a lot of attention, start with, you know what I'm saying, focusing on what's cool about yourself and allow people to gravitate to that. Because the more y'all keep trying to be these carbon copies of everybody else and everybody doing the same shit, that's the whole reason why, you know what I'm saying, in the aspect of this podcast, like I said, even the casual and cool aspect of it, like, you know what I'm saying, for myself, be authentically yourself. And a lot of the people that y'all look up to is because they are they self, and y'all gravitate to them. They don't gravitate to y'all. The celebrity
Absolutely.
don't jump to y'all. Y'all jump to them.
Mhm.
And I just feel like it ain't even really no age demographic on that. You feel what I'm saying? For the
Mhm.
younger than us, the same age than us, older than us, like it's a lot of folks that seek validation, or they want to be accepted as being cool and all that type of shit right there. Like you create your own cool. I've said that multiple times, you know what I'm saying, on plenty of episodes. Like, be cool, be yourself. And a lot of times your true authentic self is going to attract more people than you trying to, you know what I'm saying, be on the basis of creating some false identity of yourself. Be yourself and see how many people will rock with you. Be true to how you really are and see how many people will gravitate to that. You know what I'm saying? Whether you getting likes and all that other shit or not, you create your own cool, because everybody to a degree is cool in some type of way. Ain't no person on this earth realistically, you know what I'm saying, is one and the same. Everybody got something authentic about it. And y'all got to learn to value that, you know what I'm saying, without Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter telling y'all, you know what I'm saying, what's cool about y'all.
Yeah. I mean, on that note, I think I think that sums up our first episode. We touched on exactly what it is that we want to do, and I'm so excited to see where this goes. And we keeping it classy, we keeping it casual, and we definitely keeping it cool.
You already know.
The People's Podcast, y'all.
Yes, indeed, y'all. We will catch y'all next week, man. Casual conversations across the nation. Cool vibes weekly, y'all.
Enjoy your week.
Yes, indeed.